Hello everyone. It's Monday, August 27th, I believe, northeast of Atlanta, zone 7. We've had a couple moderately cool days, so the weather people say, but we're back in the 90s and they tell us the humidity will be climbing right back up to just being a horrible state again. Wanted to show you where the garden was because there's a lot of winners and losers. So we'll start here with the containers. Been something really strange this year. We always do stevia. Stevia is that sweetener. Just one little leaf was just overwhelmingly sweet. This one's doing well, but there was a couple of stems. The other ones died. And then you look at this one. See, that stem is great. This one has died. Same plant. There's only one plant. One stem is completely gone, the other one not so much. The eggplant is doing, been so hot, there's no eggplant on it right now. I don't know why. We've gotten maybe a dozen off of it. It's been very prolific. The sage has been enjoying a little bit of cooler weather. Put some basil out here in a little pot. Basil for, we use a lot of basil. This will be Thai basil. I really need to get out and get all this trimmed back so it makes tasty leaves, not strong leaves. Here's one of the mints, peppermint or probably chocolate mint. Here's a tomato. Late blight for working the tomatoes again. These were new plants. They were looking pretty good till a few days ago. I've been spraying them with some natural supposed to be stuff to help them, Serenade and some other things, and I don't think it's done a thing. This is lemon balm, I think. Oh yes, this is lemon balm. Wow, need to harvest a bunch of it. And this is 2 Thai basil plants that have just gone nuts. And looks like a regular basil in the middle. The bees just go nuts over these flowers. So it gets hard to keep them all cut back when it's all covered with bees. Then we have the tomatoes that are doing really well. Here's what's obviously going to be a little cherry tomato. You can tell by all the blossoms. It came up all by itself in the compost pile. And then over here we just have the most unbelievable tomato plant. Came up out of the compost pile. You see how many tomatoes are in here? It's just tomatoes everywhere. Chris told me though that we got a problem. It's doing so well, and look, though the one that's getting ripe has had something take a big old monster bite out of it. Just can't win with tomatoes this year. And we come up, if I can keep from tripping over myself. Here's some more basil, a bunch of oregano, and here's the sweet potato plants. They're past ready for some water. And we come around up here. There's some more sweet potato plants. Need some water. There's a tomato that's hanging in there somehow or other. I don't want to get anywhere near it because it hasn't got a single bad leaf on it. It might actually give me some tomatoes. And got some marigolds. They were really pretty. They're ready to pull out. I had them in here trying to protect some peppers. And I don't know, the marigolds did well, the peppers didn't. These are the only bad peppers I've had growing all summer. So, now let's walk down to where the main part of the garden is. The extreme heat and extreme humidity has made it the year for beans. And it has made it the year. This is some French French style skinny little beans growing. Here's a tomato and a pepper. And if anybody knows how to kill this stuff without destroying your garden, I don't care how much of this you pull up. 3 days later, there's twice as much. It makes these little bulblets. It seems like they just make millions and millions of these things. So here this poor tomato plant's trying hard, and it's going to make me a couple little tomatoes in spite of what life is like. Here's a late planting of cucumbers. And I see some female blossoms, but I don't see any actual cucumbers yet. Trying to sneak some in before the blights and the bugs hit it. A couple of peppers. Some more. I got to pick peppers today. They are just overflowing. Nice poblano for us. You know, some places grow them a lot. Oh, there's a school bus. Some places grow them a lot bigger than that. There's a red banana. And this year we've actually gotten some. These are the little yum-yums. Super sweet, like you get in a little bag at the store. They are just as tasty when you grow your own. Then we get over to what has become this year my absolute favorite variety of pepper, Yolo Wonder. Not hard to see why. Look at how prolific it is. There's another whopper one. We'll walk around to this side. Some more peppers. Some more yum-yums. More Yolo Wonders. There's some more yum-yums. Peppermint. If you ever let peppermint get started in your garden, you will have peppermint till the end of time. There's some more of this weed, whatever this thing is. I think some of my blight problem is this weed is carrying it around. Here's another backside of a poblano. Everything got so heavy it pulled my pole over. There's some more peppers. More poblanos. And there's the cucumbers. This 4-foot square here is horseradish. Don't know what I was thinking. I guess I'm going to corner the market of the world for horseradish. Then we move over to some more. Wow. If I can get to where we can see this one. Look at the size of that pepper. Or that one. Once again, these are Yolo Wonders. And this one. And oh boy, I really got to get out and pick. There are so many peppers. I tried a real late planting here of a zucchini, and I see a blossom down there, female. Maybe we'll sneak in a late zucchini. This was yarrow, which was beautiful in the spring. Now in late August, it's not much to look at. Here's some more late tomatoes planted. Got some blight traveling on them, but this looks like it's an Amish paste. So it's got quite a few tomatoes on it. Comfrey. No shortage of tomatoes here on this late one. For some reason we're on the helicopter path this morning. Some more of my favorite weed. You can see all the little bulblets, boy, and every one of those makes new plants. Now we're going to come over to where these peppers were on the back side. And wow, look at the size of that one in there. These are, sign says Big Bertha. Yeah, that's what the sign says. There are some whoppers in there. There's the back side of those other peppers. If you hear the little chirping in the background, the hummingbirds are really busy. We've got 4 of them just working the place over. Here's another batch of, these are a yellow pole bean. I need to get them, well, this is some bush ones. There's a couple of more peppers. And 1, 2, 3 more big tubs of sweet potatoes. There's a pepper in there. I've spent all summer congratulating myself on my great ginger plants. And unfortunately they're not ginger, they're turmeric. We eat a lot of turmeric, but I was really hoping for a whole bunch of ginger, which is not going to happen. However, I know this is a good place, so we'll be planting ginger down here next year. Then I tried another sneak in on a zucchini. This one here looks like it might be doing okay. Don't see any death or destruction down there in the roots. So that stuff is doing well. Now we're going to walk up here past. These are the blueberries that we worked on last year. Here's the back side of these yellow Romano beans. There's a tomato struggling to survive. And then up here is the last few of my Musica Romano beans. Boy, that little second package. As you can see here, it's loosely planted 6 feet. Maybe there's 15 plants, but look at all the beans. And we've already done 1 giant picking of beans. What's cool in these is that you tend to get 2 or 3 in each clump. So you really get a lot of beans. And they don't seem to mind the heat or the temperature. So we'll be out picking these and the peppers today. And they give you a nice straight big giant, even at this side they won't have formed a string yet. Not until they really start to bulb do they make a string. So now let's go look and see what little bit we have in the front. On my little pot bench here I've got some more basil growing. Look at that, I had 6 fabulous plants. Never got them in the ground. That's a shame, it's too late now. The figs, once they decided to start producing, have just been unbelievable quantities of figs. These bushes that I had cut down to about 3 feet are now, they've got to be 12 feet. They have made so many figs that we just keep picking and picking, and the birds and the critters just keep eating and eating. And there are plenty of figs for everybody. Whoop. Bird just hit me in the back as he's flying out of a fig plant here somewhere. So figs are just truly delicious. That one's not quite ripe yet, even though it's changed color. Then we come over here and here's another fig one. And it is also loaded. And the season is going to continue because you can see how many new little figs are starting up here. Then we look up right here, and there's another big giant batch of them. And then as you look up in the tree, you can see there's figs there. There's one that's ready. There's some more. There's another nice one. Figs everywhere. And they're totally delicious. Absolutely delicious. And the most delightful way to eat a fig is to pull it off, hold it by that little handle, and just eat it. Oh. And as long as you're doing it, you should eat a lot of them. It skips that whole farm to table and just goes farm to mouth. Now, the patty pan squash are still managing somehow to produce. My acorn squash plants are just barely hanging in, but boy, have they made a lot of squash. There's another patty pan. Then we look out here in the midst of the vines that are pretty much done, and there's some more acorns. That one doesn't seem to have a plant left, so I can probably pick it. So, as you can see, here's the big acorns. And this red little Hubbardy thing that we grew, boy did the bugs love it, but it made, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we've picked 5 or 6 already. These are really delicious. They're small, but they're very, very tasty. And over here in the middle of the plants, we've got a butternut. There's another butternut up there in the top somewhere, but I'm not going to try and step on the vines. But I want to tell you, if you're looking for a really hot weather, beautiful, beautiful flower that the bugs love. Excuse me while I try and dance out of this forest here. Think about lantanas. This whole area here is 3 plants, and it's 3 plants we bought this summer. And as soon as the sun breaks out real good, they will just be covered in every kind of bee and wasp manageable. So these 3 plants are probably, I don't know, maybe cover a 12, 14 foot area. And as you can see, they're 4 feet wide. And inside there is that rosemary. I tried a late planting of zinnias, and they're making it just fine with the heat. And the zinnia flowers are just beautiful. Something nice with so much nasty things happening to the plants in the garden to have some nice shiny zinnias. And the lavender's doing fine. A little oregano patch here in the front. Here's a new lavender. Need to weed it. That I had started from the stem cutting. Coneflowers were just fabulous. They're pretty much shot. The deal with the coneflowers though is that once you get to the cones, you don't want to get rid of them, because the birds come and they just demolish these seeds. And it is just it's a lot of fun to watch the birds dangling and weaving in the air eating the seeds. And the seeds are like very sharp, spiny. But if you figure out the direction to do them, you can get the seeds off pretty easily. And if you let them dry, these things reseed every year. These particular plants, some of these I planted inside and restarted, and some just came up by themselves, self-seeding. But they were beautiful for months and months. I've got some new ones inside They're about 4 inches tall, and I'll be bringing them out to put in front of this, and we'll get another big showing. And we walk over here, and I don't remember what these things are, but they're making a second big bloom. See, there's a brand new one coming. They make one of the weirdest flowers. This is called blue salvia or blue sage. Beautiful flowers, been flowering all summer. Here in Zone 7, they're a shaky perennial. These are some I started from seed. Another lantana. These guys up here that I need to come up and deadhead really badly. These were from last year. So they're perennials. The zinnia getting ready to go. There's some red salvia. If you deadhead them, they just keep coming and coming. These were some from seed. Some more red salvia. Some more of this blue salvia. So if you're looking for really hot, humid, hard weather plants, the red and blue salvias, or blue Russian sage, whatever they call it, they hang in there really, really well. But if you need to cover a lot of ground, it's hard to beat the lantana. A lot of flowers, a lot of insects, a lot of bees, a lot of color. They really come into their own when everything else is dying back. So there's the garden for August 27th. The next showing will probably be seeing a lot of the fall things going in. I'm starting to get lettuces and stuff started inside. Got some beets coming up inside, so we'll be planting that and figuring out where we're going to put the hoop house this year. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you know when the new videos come. The channel is Grow and Eat This, which is what we try and do, is grow it and eat it. Thank you for watching.